Okay, hi. My name is Sherry Graham, and I blog over at sherrygraham.com. I'm glad that you joined me today, and I'm excited about talking about a topic that I just love. I love this time of year, and I love that we have so many things that we can look forward to in celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas with our kids, and it's going to be, I just want to talk today about how you can incorporate your homeschool schedule into the holidays, or how you can celebrate the holidays with peace and joy and enjoy that time with your family. So many of us love all the extra activities that we get to do this time of year. You know, we have the Christmas programs, we have caroling, we have baking cookies together, lots of fun things that we get to do as a family. And because of that, sometimes if we try to keep our normal homeschool schedule that we've done, like maybe we started school in August, all gung-ho, and we've got our big plans of all of our homeschooling that we're doing each day. A lot of times when we try to maintain that into December, it's real easy to get burned out because of all the extra things the holidays bring. And one thing I've found over the years is that it's really better, at least for me, it has been better to kind of adjust my planning for homeschooling from Thanksgiving through the New Year's. I usually plan those weeks a little bit differently than I have the rest of the year. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, talk about some resources you can use, some things you can do to incorporate learning during those weeks, and not feel like you're just dropping school altogether, but you're incorporating some fun things too that you can do to celebrate over the holidays. So we all want learning to still be taking place, but we don't want to get so caught up in doing school that we totally miss out on life, and we miss all the fun memory-making opportunities that we can have as a family. So maybe to start with, before I get into some ideas for you to consider, let me just share a little bit about what I have done. And all the things I'm going to share today, please don't feel like you have to do all of them. You know, some of the things I'm sharing, I've done some one year, maybe another year I've done another thing. They're just ideas for you to consider. So please don't think you have to do all of these things. Just take what you want, the ideas that interest you, and go for it. So what I have done, I've mentioned before in how I plan our homeschool. I plan in intervals, and it's something kind of new that I've started this year, and it's working really well. But the interval between Thanksgiving, or right after Thanksgiving, and Christmas, that is kind of one interval. You know, we plan our week off of Thanksgiving. That is our break week. And then after that, through New Year's, through right after New Year's, that is our next interval. So the next time we have our break during Thanksgiving week, I'm going to sit down and go through all this stuff, just what I'm showing you today. I'm going to go through all this myself and decide what I want to do with my kids, how we're going to incorporate our homeschooling times, as well as incorporating some fun things for the holidays. So one thing that I did quite a few years ago, actually, I created an ebook that is called Our Christmas Journal. And what I wanted to do was I wanted a way that I could incorporate some language arts and memory making things into our December without feeling like I was totally dropping school altogether. But I wanted it to incorporate it to make it a memory making thing, and something that we could do to remember that Christmas and that holiday season. So here is the book that I put together, and this was from 2007. And what I do in this book, I start out by encouraging you to, instead of having your regular homeschool curriculum lesson plans for the month, I recommend having 5 different things that you do each day. And you can you can set those up however you want during the day. But the 5 things that I talk about in here is, the first one is continue on with your math. Math is something that's really hard to put down for a whole month just because the kids have a hard time remembering. So go ahead and continue your math lessons. And if you don't want to continue doing your math lessons, at least incorporate some math games. There's lots of good card games. There's I've got a little electronic flashcard. It's not really a game, but it's called Flashmaster. That's a fun thing for the kids that can work on their math facts. You could just have them do that for 10, 15 minutes a day just to refresh, keep their facts straight. Another fun thing that my kids love is we have their wood board games with marbles. And the 2 that we have are Muggins and Knockout. It's like a double-sided wood board, and there's different games you can play with marbles and dice. And those can help keep their math facts fresh and have them have some fun time too, maybe a little bit of a break from their normal curriculum. So the first thing then is your math lesson. Just continue to do a math lesson or math games or something every day to keep that fresh. Another thing is a read aloud book. And I'm going to be sharing some of our favorites here in a little bit. But choose 1 or 2 fun books that you can read aloud together as a family over the holidays. The third thing is to maybe consider doing an Advent devotional together as a family. There are lots of really good ones out there. I'm going to show you a couple of different options that we've done in the past, but maybe you could choose an Advent devotional that you could read through in the morning after breakfast as part of your morning reading time. There's some fun, well, I'll get into that. There's some fun ones that incorporate activities too, but I'll talk about that. So a math lesson, a read aloud book to read, an Advent devotional. The 4th one is some kind of memory making activity. Now, these don't have to be anything big. They can be something small, like, maybe just watching a Christmas movie together. We love watching White Christmas and Holiday Inn, some of those fun old Christmas movies. Another idea, making some homemade gifts together, making homemade cards, baking Christmas cookies, taking Christmas cookie plates to the neighbors, Christmas caroling, decorating your home for the holidays, all kinds of ideas, fun things that you can do with your kids, cut out paper snowflakes, lots and lots of ideas that you can do. So that's the 4th thing, is to doing like some kind of a memory making activity with them. And the 5th thing is to work on your Christmas journal. Now, like I said, in our Christmas journal, I start out by kind of giving you those 5 areas that you could focus on. And after that, this ebook is filled with, there's over 100 pages. I can't remember how many, but they're pretty notebook pages that you can use with your kids to document all the things that you did over the holidays. And I'll just show you a few pictures. Here we have just pictures I did of our holiday decorations. There's pictures of the kids doing their homemade gifts that they made for family. There's a page for fun times in the snow with a snowflakes border around the outside, and pictures of the kids playing in the snow. I stuck in a copy of our newsletter that we sent out to our family. That would be a good way to kind of keep your newsletters from year to year. Add it to your journal here. There's a family game time page where you can take pictures of if you have a game night, take pictures and put them in your book. I had pages for Christmas cards that you received. One fun thing that we did this year, back in 2007, when I did this was we put the Christmas cards on the front part of the page, and then on the back side of the page, we put if there was a newsletter that came with it, we put it on the back, and then we kind of put it together in a sheet protector. And I put sheet protectors, all of our pages in sheet protectors just to keep them nicer. So that would be a fun way to keep newsletters that you receive from family and friends over the holidays. let's see what else we've got in here. Christmas cards. A lot of times at Christmas, we also like to give to charities. And so that would be a good way that you could maybe write down what you did as a family, what you chose to give, things like Samaritan's Purse or Compassion International, Gospel for Asia, World Vision. There's a whole bunch of different ministries that you can give to. So that's just kind of a fun way that you can journal. There are tons more pages. There's pages like for the kids to write a letter to Jesus. There's journal pages for copying the Christmas story. There's pages for choosing a missionary family to pray for, to put their picture on, and to have a place that you can write a prayer for them. You can, you can record your favorite Christmas songs and hymns, maybe even write out the words to your favorite hymn, your favorite Christmas recipes, your favorite cookies, writing a paragraph about the best gift that you've ever received. Lots and lots of different ideas that you can incorporate with this journal that you can have your kids help you, and you can work on together as part of their language arts, part of their writing, and incorporating some fun things into your day that can help. Now, I did want to touch on a couple more things. So those are the 5 things that you can incorporate into your day. Usually they're not really time-consuming things. Probably the memory-making activity and the notebooking is probably what's going to take the most time. So, you can set up your day however you want and figure out how you want to do it. But I did want to go back just a little bit to some of the ideas for the memory-making activity. Some people incorporate an Advent study or Advent readings and incorporate activities to go along with the Advent readings. And so there is one, it's called Truth in the Tinsel. And you will find in the post where I have this video embedded on my website, there are a ton of resources down below that I've linked for you. But in Truth in the Tinsel, that is one that includes activities, mostly for smaller, younger children. But there are activities that you can do that go along with each day of the Advent readings. But another fun thing, just a fun thing you can do, maybe as a way to plan out the fun memory-making ideas that you're doing as a family. One of the fun things that you can do is to do a Christmas countdown. All of us have probably at one point done some type of a countdown when we were younger for Christmas. But there's some fun things that you can do. One idea that someone had that looked like it'd be a lot of fun, especially if you have younger children, is they went out and they bought, and they wouldn't have to be new books. You could find probably used books, but they found some good, fun to read, good quality picture books, younger books to read to the kids. They bought 24 of them, wrapped each of them up and put a number on them. And then they had them displayed in a basket or something beside the tree. And then each day they would go, like maybe in the evening before they go to bed, the kids would get to go and pick the next one to open up. And then they would read the book together. And that was a way that one family did that. I've never done that before. I think it's a cute idea. But that was one way that one family built their library. Every year they bought new books, and they would just keep, they would buy them throughout the year. And then when they got up to 24 books, then they would get them all wrapped up and then have them ready for Christmas. I thought that was just a wonderful idea to do. Another idea is I have a free download of a Christmas countdown. I think it's in the links below on my website there. But all it is they're just little cards that you can print out that have the numbered, I think 1 through 24 or 1 through 25. I can't remember if I did Christmas Day too. But simply print out the cards, and then you can fold them over in half. And then on the inside of the card, you can write the special activity or family fun thing that you're going to do that day to celebrate the holiday season, to celebrate Christmas. So I did that one year. I filled them all out, and then I strung a string across our living room, and used, I think it was paper clips. You can use paper clips or little little clothespins or something, and clip them onto the string. And then every day, the kids, or if they can't reach them, I would take the next one down, and then they would have fun finding out that morning what fun thing we were going to do that day. So you can kind of plan out your December by doing that. Go by the calendar, figure out maybe there's some of those days you're going to have a Christmas program that you're going to go to, or a musical, or some fun thing as a family. Maybe you're going to go look at Christmas lights, or, some of those things might already be on your calendar. So just write those in as the fun activity for that day. Don't try to add a bunch of extra stuff to your days, but it's a fun way to help. If you're like me, if you don't plan ahead of time, you won't get it done. And so I did that one year because I really wanted to do something special. And I was just talking to a friend yesterday about it too. And it's like, I want to start thinking about this now because I want to have some fun things planned out ahead of time to do with the kids so that the days don't just fly by. The holiday season gets busy anyway. And I want to be able to stop and savor each day and enjoy that time with the kids. So that is one way. Those two ideas. Another idea someone did, I can't remember, it was another Advent devotional I did, but another idea that parents have done is to do some type of a little gift or a game or just some little things that they wrapped up each day. They wrap up one for each day of December through Christmas Day. And then they would open them up each day. And maybe it was a puzzle or, something fun to do. Or, you could do things like that too. Maybe you wrap up a bag of popcorn and that was your, popping popcorn and movie night or, whatever. You can have lots and lots of fun planning some of those things out. So let me go on now and show you some recommended resources that we have used. Let me first talk about some books that you can read together. We have enjoyed these. If you've never heard of these, of Joe Wheeler's books, you've got to look into them because he has Christmas books and he also has other books that aren't holiday related, but they're full of really, really good literature, good stories that you can read to your kids. But this is one of them. It's the Christmas in My Heart series. And there's several different ones. There's actually, I don't know how many volumes there are. I've got 3 different ones, but we have a lot of fun. In fact, we have some favorites that we tend to want to read through every year because they're so good. So that's one resource that you could check into. This is another book, The Shepherd's Prayer. This was a book that we bought, it's been several years ago now, and it's so good. It was written, I think it was written by a homeschool dad. I could be wrong. I think that's right. But this book is so interesting. It's written from the perspective of one of the shepherds that was out in the fields that night. And it really gets you into the Christmas story and gets you into what was going through their minds. Anyway, it's excellent book to read to your kids. And another fun book, this one's probably a pretty popular one, One Wintry Night by Ruth Graham Bell. That one's a lot of fun too, and your younger kids would love that book. So those are some fun read aloud books. Some more that we've done that I forgot to pull off the shelf, but Grandpa's Box is another one. The Tale of Three Trees, that's a very popular book that you can read this time of year with your kids. And another, there's a short story that I linked to below on my website there. It's called The Rich Family in Church. And it's just a short story, awesome message about giving and unselfishness. Just a really, really good story. I encourage you to check that out and to read it to your kids this Christmas. It's just really, really good. And that's why I wanted to put it on my blog because it's just excellent. Okay, the other option, I wanted to look at some Advent studies. Now, couple years, we've read through these Jotham's Journey. There's several different ones out now. There's Jotham's Journey, and then we have Bartholomew's Passage. And I think there's maybe 2 more. I don't have those, but those are awesome, awesome resources. Now, when my kids were quite younger, I ended up having to stop reading one of them because it got a little bit too scary for them. So you may want to preview it if you have really young children. It may be something you want to wait till they're a little bit older because it is just kind of intense, but it's excellent. Okay, here's another resource, Unwrapping the Greatest Gift by Ann Voskamp. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful book, and just a wonderful way to celebrate Advent. And I'm really looking forward to, I bought this last Christmas and we never got to it. And so I'm really looking forward to reading through this one this year. This is kind of what I'm going to pick out this year for our Advent reading. And I plan on doing it in the morning time, like I've shared before, after breakfast or while the kids are finishing breakfast. I will plan on reading that to them after we have our Bible story. Then I'll do our Advent reading. And I'm looking forward to doing that with them. Okay, let me see here. Lots of other learning ideas that I have, and I've got a bunch of links listed below there on my site. But there's obviously the Christmas journal or Christmas journal that I mentioned. I've got an ebook called the Christmas Cookie Plates Project. This is a really fun project that you can do together as a family. And this book gives you everything you need, from the recipes to the grocery lists, everything that you need except for buying the ingredients and making the cookies. But it shows you how you can make a new cookie each day. I think you mix up the cookies and you put them in the fridge or the freezer. You make the balls, the cookie dough balls, and get them in the fridge. And then when you're ready to do your cookie plates, then you bake. And you bake all the cookies that you want to fix and send out. And I usually end up, when I've done it before, I've gone in spurts where I'll do, maybe 10 or 15 plates at once. And then I'll do another batch and kind of, maybe one day we'll deliver to like the city offices and a library and, doctor's office and things like that. Maybe another day we'll deliver to maybe pastors or close friends that we have. Maybe another day we'll go to the neighbors, but if you have all those cookies already not made, but they're already in cookie balls and they're ready to cook, then you can have fresh cookies very quickly that you can give out as gifts. So that's a fun project that you can do as a family. Lots of other links down there. Our giving jar, that's another fun one that you can do when you have loose change throughout the year. In fact, we have a couple jars now that I haven't done anything with, but we usually take a pint jar or a quart jar and put a sticker on it. And I think that the link I mentioned there, I think has sticker or a printable that you can download and make a sticker. But we put a sticker on the jar. It says our giving jar, and all the loose change from throughout the year gets put in that jar. And then sometime in December, we'll take it to the bank and cash it out and get the money from it. And then as a family, we'll decide what we're going to do with that money, some kind of a ministry or charity. I know one year the local daycare here in town did something where they bought Christmas gifts and delivered them on, I think, Christmas Eve to children in the community who their parents didn't have the money. So that was one thing that we did one year, is we bought Christmas gifts and took them down there for them to be delivered. So lots of different fun ideas you can do with that. All right, another fun thing, those of you who homeschool and love to do unit studies, there's lots and lots out there. Incorporating some type of unit study into your day can kind of replace maybe some of this other stuff that we've talked about, but that's another option. I linked in the notes below my video there a couple of them. One is a unit study on the symbols of Christmas, and these are free online. The other one is a unit study on some of the favorite Christmas hymns. So you can look at those and get some ideas of how you can incorporate those into your homeschool as well. So I know I have covered a lot of information here, but I did want to tell you something exciting just for you. I am going to be sending out a coupon code on Saturday to my newsletter list. so that you can get a free copy of my ebook, Our Christmas Journal, that I've been talking about. And so if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, just sign up at www.sherrygraham.com. You'll see up on the right side, there's a subscribe box. Just sign up for my newsletter. And every Saturday morning, I send out my Intentional Inspirations newsletter. And in that newsletter this week, this coming Saturday, will include a coupon code. And it will be worth the value of that book. So you can get that book for free. So be sure and subscribe. I'd love to give that to you as a resource that you can use for your family. And that coupon code will only be good through the 1st of December. So the reason why is because I want you to get the book and I want you to print it out so you can have it ready come December 1st so you can use it to record all the fun stuff that your family is going to do together. So does anybody have any questions that you would like? Feel free to type them in the chat. I'm going to wrap this up. I know I've been going about a half an hour. I love this time of year, and I don't want to, it's easy to get stressed. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all the extra things that we need to do. And I really, really want to just stop, to slow down, to enjoy these days, to make them special for my kids. And I know that you do too. So is there anybody have any questions that you want to share, that you want to ask me? Maybe you want to share something about how you do your Christmas, how you plan in December. I know if you have older kids, it may not work necessarily to totally, put everything on hold except for math. But take a look, one thing, I've been looking at our schedule, and actually my younger three have been, and actually my oldest two, all four of them have done really well so far. We've been so disciplined with our homeschool this year with doing this planning differently that we're actually at a point where we're kind of halfway through their math and their language arts. And so by next week, by the end of next week, before we take our break for Thanksgiving, they're going to pretty much be halfway through. And so I told them we're going to take December then, and we're going to play math games, and we're going to do card games, and we're going to read books. And so we're going to reinforce the language arts and the reading, and we're going to reinforce the math. But we're not going to do it formally necessarily. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to plan, some time here in a couple of weeks and plan some fun stuff, just like I've been sharing with you about today. So thank you for joining me. Again, if you want to get that free ebook, the Our Christmas Journal, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get that on Saturday morning. I'll send out my newsletter. I hope you enjoy it. I love encouraging moms. I love encouraging you to be intentional. And I just pray that this blesses you and gives you some different ideas of how you can plan your December so that not only you have learning taking place, but you have memories being made, you have God being glorified, and the whole family drawing closer together as a family and closer to Jesus. And that is the whole reason for the season. So thank you. Thank you for your encouraging comments. And I do appreciate it. And this is stretching me to get on here because I am normally a very shy person. So I appreciate the encouragement that you guys have given me here on doing these videos. And I really look forward to sharing more with you in the future. So thank you. And I'm going to sign off. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time.